Anyway, welcome ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to MudGolems versus Virtus Pro in the Epic League. Should be a pretty decent match. MudGolems have been playing pretty well lately. Virtus Pro's had somewhat mixed results. They've had quite a few roster changes in and out, so we'll see if they're able to take this game, but I'm pretty sure MudGolems is going to be slightly favoured for this one. Well, they are for me anyway. That's my personal prediction between just how these two teams have been performing as of late. MudGolems, they lead up with taking away the Magnus and the Morphling. MudGolems, they've been absolutely loving running this Faceless Void. It's their top picked hero. Really nice win rate, and it's not been banned out. And they have been known to just first phase it because they love this hero so damn much. So I would not be surprised if we see this Faceless Void grab, and there it is. They snap that up straight away, and Virtus Pro grabbed the Viper in response. So, I mean, if the Faceless Void is ploughing into someone who gets caught out in the Chronosphere, there will be that Never Toxin at least to remove his bash proccing chance. Yeah, it's okay. It's not too bad. So we'll see if this ends up paying off for them or not. I think, we'll see how they end up playing it either way. Then MudGolems, they take the Enchantress to the second pick, just a nice position 5, able to provide a nice bit of brass with the impetus as well as whatever creep she manages to steal. The Virtus Pro respond by taking the Anti-Mage. So this is looking like the VP's already taken their position 1 and 2. So it's just the offlane and 2 supports left to grab. It's a little bit peculiar to see the 2 main cores picked up in the first phase. So see if this ends up biting them in the arse perhaps, or whether if they're just happy to take this now. The Anti-Mage is it's an interesting pick because if he can blink away before the Faceless Void can jump on him and put that Chronosphere down, then obviously that's just nice being able to dodge a Chronosphere. But I mean, even still, the Chrono itself is a nice way of catching out an Anti-Mage. So there's going to be a lot of pressure on the Epileptic Kid to stay just one step ahead of the game and just try and dodge out this Faceless Void that's going to be hunting him down for a large majority of this game. MudGolems is just banning out a lot of support roles, taking away the Marana, taking away the Air Spirit. Probably see him maybe take away a position 3 role. MudGolems ban out the Undying as well, so just, every single one of their bans in that second phase is just purely focused towards the 2 supports at the side of Virtus Pro. So they're going to take the Tiny instead. This is most likely going to be that position 4. Just going to be looking for those easy toss-out scenarios, but even so far, there's not some super amazing toss-back target. Sure, you can toss people back into the Viper, hit it with the Viper Strike, I suppose, and then it's difficult for them to run away, but even still, it's not like there's a big stun combo set up just yet. We'll probably see that picked up though eventually. With Virtus Pro, they still need some way to have an instant disable for this Faceless Void. Because I mean, if you try and jump on him and then he sees you coming, he's going to easily be able to just time walk away into the trees and potentially escape. Or even just delay long enough for the rest of MudGolems to turn up and maybe try and make some sort of counterplay happen. They actually ban out the LC themselves. I think LC could have been quite nice, to be honest. But, I mean, LC is always a nice little play against the Anti-Mage. Seeing as how the duel, it does not matter if it gets countered because it does exactly the same thing either way. And I think 33 does play it. I don't think he plays it a super amount, but I mean, it's definitely a hero that you can pick up and run himself. So MudGolems actually going to snap up the Doom. This is a hero they used to pick quite a lot, but It has sort of dropped off a little bit. It's not like even because there's been a patch to really negate the hero, but I don't know, they just sort of lost favour of him quite a bit. But they're going to pick him up once again. I'm going to see what they're able to do with him. Doom with him. Hilarious. So this is probably going to be in the hands of 33. I mean, I think Skeeter can take it. Boromir, sorry, can take it towards the mid lane. We'll have to wait and see. But Vertipro, they take the Witch Doctor as their position 5 to try and babysit this anti-mage. I mean, it's not like some sort of big burst damage to combo with this with the Maledicts. I mean, there is some in the tiny, sure, but I mean, in the actual laning phase, an anti-mage and a Witch Doctor are not going to be able to provide too much damage to actually make the Maledict super powerful. So we could potentially just see a Cask and the Voodoo Heal skilling up. Maybe they might just skip the Maledict to the early levels. We'll have to wait and see. MudGolems, they take the Invoker, so that's going to be in the hands of Boromir for the mid lane. So this is going to be a 33 Doom for the off lane. So it's looking like it's just the position 4 left to grab on the side of MudGolems. And Vertipro, they're after their offlaner. So they want some sort of offlaner that can do quite nicely against the Faceless Void. MudGolems actually ban out the Kunkka, so maybe they're thinking that this Viper's actually going to go into the offlane. It could be quite nice. The Viper would be able to harass out the Faceless Void quite nicely. Because a lot of it is dot damage that will be coming out from the Viper, so Time Walk's not going to have like the greatest amount of effect. Faceless Void likes going up, well, doesn't say likes going up against, but ideally if he goes up against burst damage that he can survive, he can just Time Walk and basically just get all of his HP back and pretty much just ends up wasting the mana on the other side. But dot damage is a little bit more annoying for him to deal with. I mean, maybe. I mean, it would be stupid, but I mean, they could run the Witch Doctor as the position 4, and then with the Maledict onto the Faceless Void as well, it's another form of dot damage that can just make it more awkward for Skeeter to try and dodge out and survive. We'll have to wait and see, though. They ban out the Void Spirit as well, side MudGolems, and Vertipro get rid of the Shadow Demon. Still just want to ban out that position 4. The Earth Spirit's already gone, Mirana's already gone, Tiny's taken, Io's banned. There is still a Rubik in the pool, but I mean, there's not that great picks. Spell Steal, sorry, that you can really get off the side of Vertipro, so probably won't bother with that. I'm trying to figure what else sort of position 4 to combo up with this Doom in the off lane. The Doom is like someone who can just sit in the lane on his own once he gets his like first couple of levels, so MudGolem's going to be after someone who can rotate easily and potentially set up some kills for this Invoker. Maybe something like an Earthshaker could be quite nice. Go towards that mid lane, set up for EV Fishers, plus it's a long range disable for this anti-mage to be able to try and catch him out for a couple of ganks. But they are just going to go for the Rubik anyway. So that'd be from Milan in the position 4. So I mean, an easy orbit still would be Witch Doctor's Death Ward, which does a nice amount of damage in the hands of Rubik, but even still, it's not like it's a super amazing steal because the Rubik obviously does just have to stand there himself. Probably sitting on Evertoxin at the same time. Yeah, I think I probably would have preferred Earthshaker on the side of MudGolems for that. Either way, we'll see how this Rubik pick ends up working for them. MudGolems still up with their offlaner themselves, or mid laner, offlaner, mid laner. Depends where they're going to put this Viper. Yeah, probably will be in the mid lane because Viper's going to go off to the off lane, I imagine. So potentially something like a Storm Spirit, perhaps. Because I mean, a Faceless Void doesn't really want to build into like a Manta or anything to purge off an Orchid. But the one danger of being a Storm Spirit when you're up against the Doom, obviously, is if you get doomed, your hero is giga useless. You will just die every time. So it probably would force the Storm Spirit to build into a Lincoln Sphere. But instead, they're actually going to grab the Snapfire. That is that new sort of mid-hero pick. So there will be the mid Snapfire up against Boromir with the Invoker in the mid lane. I do like that Doom set. Just doing his crazy Inferno Fist thing as he does. Like, bah! But either way, looking at these lineups, I'm quite liking MudGolems. They're saying you've got the instant disable from the Rubik to try and catch out Epileptic Kids. Maybe a long range tornado from Boromir as well. Faces avoids Chrono Ult. Yeah, I think I'm liking that more. I think GPK will probably have a little bit of an easier time in the mid lane rather than Boromir, because Snapfire is just such a strong hero in those early levels with the Scatter Blast and the Cookie, so he probably will have a slight advantage in the laning phase. We'll see if Boromir is able to recover and potentially make some magic happen for his own side. But yeah, I think I'm going to favour MudGolems for this game. We'll see if I'm correct there. Probably not. But I think that Epileptic Kid should be able to farm easier than Skeeter will be able to. Seems like Epileptic Kid's going to be up against the Doom, so always going to be able to drain Doom's mana every time he gets close to the creep wave. Meanwhile, Skeeter, there's not much that Farta can really do to try and make space for him while he's on the Enchantress. So we might see a slight disparity there, especially if the Anti-Mage, well, he will be getting that Battle Fury online relatively quickly. Well, not quickly, but there isn't really any need to build any other sort of item for him at this point. So I mean, there's not like there's any sort of like big silences to purge off from MudGolem's side. Yeah, like even if you get hit by Doom, Manta does nothing against that. There's nothing to purge off from the Invoker. There's the slow from Enchantress, but who cares about that? So this will just be a very quick Battle Fury, not much else to worry about for Epileptic Kid. Boromir, GL Kid. Big friendlies. These two teams very nice with each other. Very nice indeed. It's what you like to see. Good bit of sportsmanship. So VP just make a very aggressive move straight towards the Radiant jungle. And they push Farta and Skeeter away. So they should be able to secure both these bottom bounties, but likewise up top. It's just Epileptic Kid all left on his own. So there's not much he'll be able to do really to contest these two bounties either. So it's most likely just going to be a 2-for-2 trade. Nice high five. DM trying to get into this bounty rune. Who's going to click when you click him more? DM still wins it. So is this going to be 2-for-2 trade? Could have potentially been a nice little steal there from Skeeter and give their team a little tiny buff. Not exactly something you really care about too much in the early stages. It's only 40 gold per person. But every little helps. That's a slightly faster tango set. And everyone needs more tangos. So normally when I was saying in the draft that the Doom tends to be a hero which can do pretty well on his own in the early, once he gets to like level 2, level 3. I mean, it is a little bit more difficult for him going up against an Anti-Mage and a Witch Doctor. It's a bit more difficult for him to sustain. So MudGolem's picking up the Rubik. Sure, it's not a hero that can rotate, so they're not really going to be planning on leaving 33 alone. Going to make sure that Milan's always here to provide a little bit of assistance. Safe, taking quite a bit of damage. Charging forward, Skeeter's got his Time Walk available. We're going to jump forward, see if he gets a lucky bash. Only one more hit, and the Impetus comes out there from Farta. And that actually snatches up the first blood. It's a very aggressive position in there from save. And unfortunately, there's no one that can save his life. Funny stuff, I know. So how's this mid lane going? 9-2 to GPK to the 4-1 of Boromir. So as I was expecting, the Snapfire having a little bit of a nicer time in this mid lane. Just with those abilities to just do a little bit more damage. Plus, what's the attack damage actually like? Pretty much identical. There's only 2 damage difference between the two of them. But I think GPK's projectile was just slightly faster. It could make a little bit of a difference in the lane. Epileptic Kid with the cask there. They're trying to do a lot of damage onto Milan, just draining away all his mana. So all he has is 1 mango, and he's forced to ship out quite a lot more regen as well, so using up a fair amount of his gold. I mean, that's what happens though when you start off with brown boots. You don't really start off with much, then you just have to focus on resupplying your regen as much as you can, really. Then the farm disparity between the 2 carries. There is a slight lead for Skeeter at the moment, and I don't think he's really having to spend as much on regen. Sure, he's not got any left now, but even still, he's 300 gold already over the top of Epileptic Kid. And it's 3 minutes in, so I mean, sure, that doesn't sound like much, but 300 gold, that's a fair amount for this early portions of the game. He's going to have a slightly earlier item timing. Even applying a little bit of pressure onto DM now with the time dilation, trying to slow him down, but toss back there from Skeeter. Save, actually. Skeeter just dives straight back in again, trying to apply even more pressure into DM. He's just looking for a bash. He's not quite getting it. DM's dropping pretty low. Skeeter's getting low himself. They just about managed to get the kill. Skeeter will pay with this with his life. But at least he got a little bit of XP, and it's only Save actually getting any XP himself. So it doesn't seem like the best trade in the world, but it does slightly favour Skeeter, despite the fact that he'd probably just much rather be in the lane and actually get an ECS last hit. So maybe that actually prefers a slightly better trade for VP there. Just taking away the position 1 on the other side off the map, reducing his farm. Oh, Milan, you just popped a tango. Or a mango. Mango tango. Oh, look like Boromir tried to get that that arcane rune, but GPK was just there in time, able to snap that away, and even fills up his bottle. Oh, down bottom, Skeeter, he drops once more. Looks like they're just trying to apply so much pressure onto DM, and even Fire drops as well. So both members of the safe lane for MudGolems just end up falling. They're trying to apply so much pressure onto this Viper, but I mean, the more levels the Viper gets, it's just more and more difficult to actually bring him down. Especially if Skeeter's not getting very lucky with his bashes. So, I mean, he was in front of Boromir. He was in front of Epileptic Kid, sorry, but I imagine he's probably dropped behind him now. And yeah, he has. So now it's actually 300 gold in favour of Epileptic Kid. Just a couple of slight over-aggression misplays on the side of MudGolems, and that's really setting him back. I mean, this is the real harm. Skeeter has his TP on cooldown, so he has to run all the way back to lane. He even just pops a smoke or deceit just to give him that little bit of bonus movement speed, so he's doesn't lose as much efficiency. But even still, that's pretty damn rough. That's pretty rough. Especially seeing as how DM is probably going to have a little bit of a level over the top of him as well, half a level more. And after this creep wave, he's definitely going to have probably another level on top of that. He got 33. It looked like he was trying to make some sort of play towards the back, maybe getting a courier. But there's that. First, Mortimer's Kisses uses coming out from GPK, secures an easy kill. So everything just going quite nicely so far for the side of Virtus Pro. Even Boromir just applying quite a bit of pressure now. Farter even rotating from behind, and I don't think there's anything GPK can do to survive this. He looks like he will just fall. Even Boromir getting the last hit there. A little bit of bonus gold for him. Some nice rotations there by Fire, making a little bit of space happen. Oh, meanwhile up top, Epileptic Kid and Ilias. They find an easy grab onto Milan, seeing himself 33 was still in the base. Just getting any little advantage they can. So, I mean, I was saying that top was probably the one lane that wasn't going super well for them, but actually, Epileptic Kid, he's second on top of the CS at the moment, actually top of net worth, so I think every lane's going pretty well for the side of Virtus Pro. Maybe the mid lane now is actually the one that's most even. Even still, Save, he steps out of position. Gets hit by the cold snap, and a little bit of harass coming out from Farter as well. He gets pretty low, but Not enough to actually bring him down. RP, ooh, it's doing a lot of damage. You gotta run, save. You gotta run. Okay, able to grab him. GPK though, he sees that Farters drops out on his lane. Avalanche comes out from save, that's a toss in the Scatter Blast. And there's a nice easy kill. Milan rotates from behind. They will manage to get at least a grab onto save, so they get some sort of response. Oh, Mortimer's Kiss has even now committed a GPK just to try and get the kill onto Milan. Ilias rotates around, but I don't think it was even really necessary. GPK manages to get the kill nonetheless.
Are you even trying?
So Epileptic Kid, he's having a pretty fine time farming up top. Meanwhile, Skeeter, he's definitely struggling a bit more up against this Viper. I mean, the CS chart, ooh, Jesus. Epileptic Kid nearly has double Skeeter's CS. Borneo rotates around bottom though, does connect to the Tornado, but unfortunately for him, DM actually already started falling back, so they couldn't get any sort of kill onto him. I mean, Skeeter, all he's got, he doesn't even have a Wraith Band or anything. He's just got brown boots, and he's trying to build up for that Mask of Madness as his first item, but he's still quite a ways away from it. Definitely going to be a very rough game for him. It's going to be a lot of time spent just trying to recover and build his farm up. Wonder if he's going to go for a Battle Fury himself to maybe try and get his farm back online, or maybe if he's just going to try and go for more of a fighting build and try and get a couple of early kills to sustain himself. But I mean, it's nearly 8 minutes in, and he's still not even level 6. I mean, that is definitely worrying. Really worrying. It looks like Boroni and Milan trying to make potentially a little bit of pressure on Ilias, but Cookie there from GPK brings it back into safety, and they couldn't quite find anything on that either. But I mean, oh, this is even rougher. 33. He's not even level 5. He's got phase boots, sure, but Jesus, that's really rough. Epileptic Kid is a third of his level to level 7. Look at this. Like, as soon as 33 shows his face, Epileptic Kid only needs to head in this direction, and 33 just craps his fiery pants and has to run away. This is the extent that he can farm. He just devours a creep and runs for it. Oh, meanwhile though, rotation comes out from Elias, comes out from behind. They drop the Maledicts on there, but then the Borody comes in with the Tornado, and even the Mortimer's Kiss is committed from GPK, but it does get cancelled out by the Tornado. They will actually still find the kill onto 33. They're going to see if they can get some sort of return grab onto Ilias. He does pop his stick charges, and with that Voodoo Restoration, it does keep him alive. So MudGolems, they don't find anything, even after rotating around here to try and save 33's life, but again the Doom falls. There's more time off the map, so he's still not going to have his level 6. He's going to have this level 6 past 10 minutes. That's what you'd expect from like a POS 5, but definitely not your offlaner. He's over 3 levels, well, exactly 3 levels behind DM on the other side. Just all 3 cores on the side of VP, just super far ahead on CS. Just monstrously outpacing MudGolems. But I mean, despite the fact that they've got double the kills and loads more CS, they're still 2k ahead at 10 minutes. I would expect that to actually be slightly more, but even still, 2k at 10 minutes is pretty damn nice. It doesn't look like anyone on the side of MudGolem is going to try and rotate down bottom to keep this tower alive. It will just end up falling. Even Epileptic Kid rotates around. How far is he off this? He's about 1900 gold off finishing his Battle Fury. Meanwhile, Skeeter, I think he's just getting his Mask of Madness delivered. And then he's going to finish up his boots. And then we'll have to see what his next major item is. But, I mean, this could potentially just be a time for him to maybe make something happen. He's got his Chronosphere online. He's got his Mask of Madness. So maybe he could get grab. Even if it's just a kill onto support, I'm sure they really don't mind. Even Milan rotates down here. Does have a smoke. See if they want to potentially use it. Try and get some sort of grab. The VP are just applying loads of pressure now onto this tier 1 in the mid lane. Got this catapult online. And it looks like this will fall pretty quickly. Ski is just off on the sides. Maybe just wait and see if he can get some sort of grab. But I think the rest of VP realises he's here. DM doesn't even care. He's still positioned so aggressively. But even still, VP, they just get an easy tier 1 kill, and MudGolems, it just felt like they couldn't do anything. They all just stood around it watching. Just completely wasting their own time. will actually use the smoke. But they do still have this Chronosphere line, just the 3 of them. We'll see who they're actually able to find. Meanwhile, up top, 33's getting pressured once again. I mean, hey, at least he has his level 6. There's actually not enough lockdown there coming out from Save and GPK, so he will just be able to run away. It looks like maybe they were... MudGolems are going to try and get some sort of rotation around here. They do spot out Save, but they're going to kind of run around the back. GPK is in full retreat. Skier, he will actually run into Save. And they should be able to bring this Tiny down pretty easily. GPK gets the TP out, so Save does fall. But, I mean, he tanks the gank there for GPK, keeps his mid laner alive. But, at least for the side of MudGolems, they didn't have to use Chronosphere, so they're still going to have that next sort of aggressive move still available to use. But even still, just the massive farm difference between Epileptic Kid and Skeeter. It's nearly 2,000 gold at 12 minutes in. And this is before Epileptic Kid even has his Battle Fury. As soon as he gets this Battle Fury online, we're just going to see that lead just get bigger and bigger. So there's definitely going to be a lot of pressure on Skeeter to actually start trying to get some kills. Because there's no way he's going to be able to actually out-farm this anti-mage. He's just going to have to try and out-kill him. Super close now. Only 50 gold away from finishing up this Battle Fury. Chose not to kill that last creep. Actually, just wants to try and get the Ancient stack. Nice little bit of efficiency. Falls back, completes his Battle Fury. Stack spawns, farms it up. Very, very efficient. Give a little healing salve there from Ilias, just to keep him nice and sustained. Because we'll be sure he can farm up creep waves, creep stacks pretty easily, but an anti-mage isn't exactly the tankiest person in the world. So he is actually going for that Battle Fury, so he is going to try and make it so he can farm a little bit faster, not going for just a pure fighting build. I mean, we'll see how this ends up paying off for him. I thought maybe he might have potentially gone for maybe a what do you call it, Maelstrom, and then move that into a Mjolnir perhaps. I think that could have been quite nice. Would have gave him a little bit of extra team fight, as well as it does ramp up your farming speed a little bit, but it does actually help trying to get kills a little bit better than Battle Fury does. But the Gobble Up toss comes out there from GPK. Got that Aghanim's online 14 minutes in, and that's just a free kill onto Boromir. So there is that reveal done. So, I mean, MudGolems realise this is actually going to be happening for the next engagement. And GPK, he's actually queued up a Blink Dagger as his next item. I don't think it's something you really see very often on a Snapfire. Kind of an interesting build. So maybe he wants to gobble up and spit someone in there and then immediately Blink Dagger in himself. Just maybe do like a follow-up stun with the cookies. We'll see how that ends up paying off for them. I mean, it's not like he really needs to build too big onto the damage because he's... Yeah, but I mean, it's weird because the Blink Dagger, obviously, you want to... If you're using a Blink Dagger, you want to get into the action. But then, if you've got Mortimer's Kisses, you sort of want to have a little bit of range. So maybe this is just like a purely defensive Blink Dagger. Maybe he just wants to always make sure that he is a little bit further away, perhaps. We'll have to wait and see how he actually uses this Blink Dagger once he has it online. But there is a smoke up coming out from VP. It looks, are they just going to move straight into the Roshan? No, they're going to head up towards the triangle. Saves. Smoke does break. He finds the grab onto Ski and Cookie up to the high ground. Does lock him in place. Even the Maledict. He just manages to get his time walk off in time though. So he will be able to survive this. Not enough damage from that Maledict either. And the Soul and Death Ward coming out from land. It's doing quite a bit of damage. They're going to focus their efforts towards GPK. He's even hit by the Doom. So he will fall. They're going to try and get a deny. And Ilias does actually manage to deny him. And 33 is in a real dangerous position himself. At least Ilias does fall from the Arcane Bulk there coming out from Milan, but unfortunately 33 pays that with his life. So it's a 2-for-1 trade, but MudGolems, they don't actually get the money for killing GPK there. So it is actually a very slight gold and XP advantage for VP, but I mean, it doesn't matter too much for the side of MudGolems. That is GPK off the map. Just reducing his own farm a little bit, but I mean, he's already got his Aghanims. He doesn't really care about getting his farm. He's got his most cool item he needs for this game. How long does the Gobble Up actually last before it just spits someone out? It's puts secure in his mouth, send large duration. It doesn't actually say how long. Oh, yeah, another spit out there. Just toss in a safe forwards. Yeah, it doesn't actually say how long they stay inside. Fire spit pool duration, yeah, so I'm unsure. Is it just permanent? Does he just hold someone forever? I think that'd be... Yeah, I'm not sure actually. We'll have to wait and see. I'll try and see if I can spy out some sort of timer the next time this Gobble Up's online. I'll try and work it out, boys. I'll try and work it out. Anyway, smoke comes up from MudGolems. They move into the VP's jungle, but they don't actually find anything. Both teams just position on the other side of the map. I mean, there is this high ground ward. It does actually spot out a couple of members on the side of VP. Nice actual ward position there. It does actually keep it alive, seeing as how the sentry wall gets placed on the high ground. Doesn't actually spot it out. I mean, sure, it does limit your vision. You can only see a couple of spaces rather than all of this as well, but it's worth it in some occasions. Especially a moment like that. The scan did actually connect there from VP, so maybe they know that someone's up in their own jungle. We're actually down bottom. Skier, he drops the Chronosphere, it's Epileptic Kid all alone. Even the Death Wall can be there from land, he's going to do enough damage. Just about gets his counterspell off, but I mean, that doesn't stop you from dying, man. You need to blink, not use counterspell. So nice little movement there from MudGolems. Using that, I think that's the first Chronosphere of the game, actually. I don't think he's used it yet. So they do actually find that super high priority kill of Skeeter. I mean, he's 4,000 gold over the top of... Oh, Gobble Up, toss it there. Nearly connects onto Skeeter though, but he just about dodges it. Nice little read by him, falling back just in time. And that looks like MudGolems. They realise that VP's moved down here. They're going to try and play a little bit aggressive with him. The Tornado from Borneo does connect. He's going to put the Cold Slap onto DM as well. Going to do a lot of damage. The Death Ward was committed there by Milan, but immediately the Doom comes out from 33, just cancels that out. The Mortimer's Kiss though forced everyone on the side of MudGolems to fall back. It's way too much damage from that super long range ultimate. So a few ults do get traded, but no one actually ends up falling from either side. But I think that it definitely slightly favours VP, seeing as how Doom is like an absolutely massive cooldown. It looks like Milan got up and toss in there. He actually does dodge the stun that comes out from that, but unfortunately that's not enough to save his life. And he falls anyway. And the aggression just keeps coming up from VP. They just keep hunting for more and more. Skeeter will just bail out there. 33 though, he's spotted out by Sayu. I think he realised he's going to move down to the bottom, but they're not going to be able to find a grab onto him. Looks like he's going to head on to this tier 1 instead. So 33, he has his BKB at least. He has something that can actually let him to do a bit more work in these team fights. But he was also saying before that the Doom cooldown though is so damn long. I mean, the farm of Epileptic Kid, as you would expect, is just so much damn faster than that of Skeeter. Is Skeeter still building onto the Battle Fury? He's still building a Battle Fury, but he's still so far away from it. Oh, yeah, in the mid lane, Milan actually ends up getting caught out again from that Gobble Up spit out. Flying tiny airlines, but the other way around. This way is Snapfire airlines. But yeah, I really think Skeeter should have changed his build a little bit. I think he should have gone for a Maelstrom. And he's still 600 gold away from finishing it. He will actually just manage to retreat just in time. Members of VP were heading down to the bot lane, going to try and wanted to catch him out, but well read for him at least. Oh my days, I just looked at the level disparity as well. Epileptic Kid is level 17 and Skeeter's only level 12, as well as being 5,000 gold behind. Epileptic Kid is just an absolute monster at the moment. Got his mantle online, building in for the batter as well. What's he getting delivered? Just a Mithril Hammer. I mean, yeah, I think this game is just getting worse and worse the longer this goes on for MudGolems. Another spit out there comes in. Save does connect on General with the Mortimer's Kisses. Nearly brings out Ski, but he's just able to get his time walk off in time. He will manage to survive. It looks like Save might fall from this. The bolt comes out there from Milan to finish him off. And everyone on the side of VP has to retreat. Ilias gets caught out with the Ice Wall as well as the Tornado. Did a lot of damage from afar with these impetuses. Milan actually snags up, gets a double kill from himself. So, MudGolems, they find something, but it is just the two supports. But even still, that is a gank from VP that did go quite poorly. I think potentially MudGolems could have moved into the Roche pit. I mean, it might have been a little bit awkward, seeing as how there's still quite low respawn times for the two supports on VP. But here comes the smoke out now from MudGolems. They do actually spot DM, and they have this Chronosphere available. So he's going to jump in. The Chronosphere, it does connect onto DM, but the spit out came from VP. And then Save just jumps into the back line, clears up Milan. Boromir always drops down, but Skeeter did actually have enough damage at least to bring down DM in that Chronosphere duration. So there is actually still a slight favourable trade for them. Tornado comes out, connects onto two of them, holding down in place to the EMP as well. VP is getting slowed down by the impetus and the slow's coming up from Fire. The Epileptic Kid, he finally gets involved, does a couple of hits onto Fire. All of his mana's gone, he takes so much damn damage. And Fire falls super quick, despite the fact that he does have that big attack speed slow. I mean, it's approaching into the territory where Epileptic Kid nearly has double the farm Mosquito. He's finally got his Battle Fury in line. He's building a stick. What? What's with this super late stick build? I don't know. I'm confused about this really late stick build. What's this really going to do for you that much? I'm not too sure. Oh well, we'll have to wait and see. I don't know if there's at some point Skeeter manages to survive an engagement with his 20 charge stick 20 charges in his stick 1. Words! Magic 1! That's what I meant to say. That's what I'm going to say. I'm just going to stop talking for a minute. Too many tongue slips. So Epileptic Kid, level 20 at 23 and a half minutes in. 15,600 net worth. Got his Bash online as well as his Manta. Just going straight for the Abyssal Blade as his next item. Only 1,500 gold away, and with this Battle Fury build and just the farm that an anti-mage does actually still farm up, he's going to have this online pretty damn quick. MudGolems are going to try and use this little distraction. They're tier 2 falling down to move into the Roshan pit. They're not taking it down super quick. The Spittle actually comes there from Milan, so they realise this is going on. Even Mortal's Kisses come in onto 33. He's taking so much damage. Save just jumps in there, gets an easy kill onto 33. He just didn't want to pop his BKB and ends up paying with his life for that. So now VP, they're just going to be able to move straight into this Roshan, which is basically already dead. They're still on the hunt for more. They do actually find the connection onto Fato, who was in with start. It looks like he will still fall. Tornado not making enough space for him. And that's just a free Roche for the side of VP. That MudGolems very nicely put down low for them. Epilepsy just dives straight into the back, focuses down on some land, doing so much damn damage. Even the Mind Void there does a bit of damage onto Boromir as well. Skier just gets dropped before he can do anything at all. I think this is this game, in all honesty. I don't think there's much MudGolems can really do unless they get a monstrous 5-man Chronosphere with, I don't know, a stolen Mortimer's Kisses from Milan. But I mean, in these Chronospheres, there's not a huge amount of outside source damage that can be done. Invoker can do a little bit, I suppose, but Doom can't really get involved too much. Depends what Milan had stolen at the time. But this is looking pretty rough now for MudGolems. Really rough. So Ski is working on for that BKB as his next item. So much magic damage that's coming out from the side of EP. And loads of stun lockdown, so they will actually allow him to actually do some work at these team fights. But VP, they've done another smoke up. Heading into the back. Epileptic Kid jumps straight onto the back line. Will pop his Abyssal Blade onto 33. There was the Glimmer Cape coming out, saving his life for now. Morpheus Kiss is coming out as the tossing coming from save. Milan falls. And Epileptic Kid, he just keeps his aggression going. Charging now onto 33. The MP comes out, but it's not actually going to connect onto anyone. And they tried to find another grab there onto Boromir, but they couldn't actually find any sort of connection onto him. So probably could have pushed down to this tier 2. Never mind, actually. Skeeter and Boromir, they're going to cut off these creep waves at least. Lags, 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 lags! That's a lot of lags. Go try, go try. Skier, he ends up getting spot out top. So he realises he's there. Even if Epileptic TP's in, drains all of Skier's mana, nothing he can do. Free kill there onto the position 1.
Are you even trying?
He is trying, but he's failing. Unfortunately for him. Yeah, I don't think there's anything that MudGolems could do to get back into this game. Skier has half the farm of Epileptic Kid. He's got his Abyssal, got a Manta, got a Battle Fury, working onto that Scardy as his next item.
Are you ready to rumble?
Yeah, I just definitely think that I think Skeeter really needs to build, maybe go for a Mjolnir potential instead. I mean, I know it wouldn't increase his farm, but at least then he could just focus with his team on actually just trying to get kills rather than just trying to farm up and try and make space that way. But who knows? I mean, they could have gone for my way and they could have still lost. So who knows? I'm not exactly a professional. So all tier 2s taken away from the side of MudGolems. So when that high ground siege does eventually come, it's going to be completely open base for the side of VP to just steal it away. Oh, what? Why was there just a paladin sword left on the floor? What? Who did that? Oh dear. So yeah, that was MudGolem's paladin sword. That would have been quite nice actually for Skeeter to have. Oh dear. It just goes from bad to worse. Spit comes out from GPK, connects perfectly onto Boromir. Just another super quick kill. Oh, actually down bottom, he gets spotted out by Epileptic Kid. Another free kill. This Aegis is going to run out in about 30 seconds, but I don't think VP really care about it. I thought they would just try and keep their pressure going, but they're actually they're just still focusing on farming. Scardy now online for Epileptic Kid. This guy is just massive. So damn massive. Skeeter's just having the worst game ever. He's still so far away from finishing up that BKB. He just can't find anywhere to farm. Everywhere is just so damn dangerous. MudGolems have gone for a smoke up now. They need to find something for this. If this gank goes skew with, then I think that's just the game over for him. Milan smoke even gets popped by Save, who was on the other side of the trees. And then VP, they actually do a smoke of their own, going to move down towards bot A. And immediately gets popped, so they realise people's into the back there. Epileptic Kid jumps straight away, finds Skeeter, and he's going to fall pretty quick. Oh, he's just about managed to survive. Pops over to Mangoes to try and use a spell, but he still gets stunned, so he can't use anything. There's really trying to stand his ground, but it's just way too much damage coming out from this Death Ward. They're focusing down Epileptic Kid, trying to do as much damage as they can. 33 is going to fall anyway, despite having his BKB online. Boromir is being pushed away by Save, and that leaves Farter all on his own. He falls. Now Milan is going to be able to get the Invis Room, but I think they're going to have detection either way. Yeah, there's some wards. Milan falls, and yeah, MudGolems, they just tap out. They are done. I mean, I'm surprised they didn't call GG sooner. That game was just way too damn rough. But super well played there by VP. It's like just unbelievably dominant in that first game. I mean, the start of the laning phase was a little bit even, but then it started tipping more and more into VP's favour as they got basically a double kill and skeeted down bottom, forced him to run all the way back to the lane, and that just set his farm so far back that Epileptic Kid was able just to get his Battlefield online and just farm like an absolute demon, and there was nothing that Skeeter could really do to match the pace of it. He tried building the Battlefield of his own, but it came online way too late, and unfortunately enough for them, there was just no way they could really get themselves back into that. So either way, that's First Pro taking the game 1. Very well deserved victory there. Just it seemed like flawless play really. So we'll see if MudGolems are able to take this take the second game and maybe push it onto a game 3. But if Virtus Pro is able to play again like that, I just don't think MudGolems have much of a chance. It was just so damn strong. But either way, hopefully we will be able to see that game 3 and have some good dates to watch. But if you guys have enjoyed what I've been able to provide and you've just enjoyed the game in general, then please think about following me on Twitch, Twitter, or YouTube. Any sort of support I can get, I appreciate quite a lot. So yeah, if you want to support me, then please think about staying in the future. And hopefully I'll see you for VP versus MudGolems game 2. So I'll see you then. Cheers.